All right, family. I know I'm live a little early. I'm not home, I'm in a different location. I need to see how strong this stream is. I need to see how strong this stream is. Barigani, by the way. Let me see how it's looking. Wrong. Okay. This stream is Barigani, by the way. Okay, I don't see myself on Facebook. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's in the Black Revolutionary Film Club. Yeah. That I'm here. Okay. Okay. Black Revolutionary Film Club. Will other things play? Yeah, I'm here.
Hi for you and Dr. Mayat for providing this wonderful camp in the middle of summer.
Okay. So it's just me?
This wonderful camp in the middle of summer.
Okay. So it's just me? Let me turn my camera off. In the middle of summer. Okay. So it's just me. Let me turn my camera off. Turn back on. Let me turn my camera off. All right. All right. It seems that I am invisible today. Okay. It seems that I am invisible today. And what I'll do is I'll just turn my camera off. That at least you all can see the circle, you know. So let me do that. Let's see here. Maybe I could do a virtual background. So at least we'll have that. Will the virtual background show? Or let's see how that's gonna work, y'all. Let's see how that's going to work. My apologies, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties, so you may not see my handsome chocolate. Oh, there I am. There I am. All right. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Let me get rid of that background. I'm not feeling that background. Let me get rid of that background. Let me go none while we blur. Okay. Well, I see me, but I don't think y'all can see me. Can y'all see me? Can you all see my face? When I'm looking at it on my phone, I can't see my face. Let me go to let me go to YouTube. Let me go to YouTube and see what's going on. And peace and power to everyone. Habari Gani. Today is Nia. We are celebrating purpose today. And I don't know if you all can see me or hear me. If somebody could jump in the chat and let me know how I'm coming through. Yep, I don't think I can be seen. But my audio is coming through on my other devices, but my face is not. And that could be the strength of the stream. I'm traveling today. And so that could be the strength of the stream. So I'm just going to turn my cam off, right? And we'll just do it like that. All right. How's everybody feeling? How's everybody feeling? I pray that everybody's having a powerful, powerful Kwanzaa. We're going to get started by honoring our ancestors here in just a minute. First things first, though, let me do this. Let me do this. Is this my overlay? Let me put my overlay right there. So that way, when I do talk, y'all can hear me. You know, y'all can see the shield. If you can't see my face, you can see the shield. Let me make sure, though. If you can't see my face, you can at least see the shield. You know what I'm saying? Peace and blessings. I know, Imani, for some reason, it won't show my face. So I'm just going to put the shield up. Yeah, for some reason. It won't show my face. My camera's not coming through my stream, but it'll show me. It'll show the shield. So I'll just be represented by the Uhuru Academy shield. Y'all see enough of me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Habari Gani to all. Let's get started, y'all. You know we got to get started by promoting the Uhuru Academy and kind of promoting what we do with a couple of commercials here. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's get that going.
Academy overall is an amazing school from the teacher to the students. Is a place where kids can build their confidence and learn how to write, read, type, all of that good stuff. We learn our history here. We honor our ancestors, so we learn about who we are and where we come from, and I really enjoy this about this school. And like everybody's pretty much saying, it's a safe space, and we can always be able to feel like we can open up to our classmates and our teachers. So that's what I love.
I love the environment and that they promote not being afraid to ask for help.
Something positive about the Uhuru Academy is this is a safe space, and you can be able to say whatever you want to say without being embarrassed, just like how Amani said. I've been able to, sometimes I can be shy talking around people, but y'all have taught me not to be shy and everything. This is a very good school. The part that I love about this is when we do ancestor reverence and African history.
I think this is the greatest school I've ever went to because you teach me about my history, and at the other schools they never taught me one thing about my history. They just taught, the only black people they talked about at my other schools were Carter G. Woodson, Martin Luther King, and I think that's it. So you guys helped me learn my true history.
Abarigani family, Abarigani, can y'all hear me loud and clear? Can y'all hear me loud and clear? My apologies for not showing my face. The technology's on a little haterade right now, so when I activate my camera, I can see my face on my computer, but I don't think it's streaming my face from my computer, right? And it could be the strength of my stream. As you see, that little circle went away. Now it's just all black. Now I ain't got no problems with it being all black because I'm all black, you know what I'm saying? But I do know that if I mute my camera, it's going to strengthen the stream. And that's what I'd rather do, right? I'm going to mute my camera, right? Because it's not about my face. Y'all can see my beautiful, black, handsome face anytime. You know what I'm saying? This is about getting the message out. And I don't want the audio to be choppy. I'm going to be sharing some videos. I don't want those to be choppy. I want this to be a smooth experience. We won't be long today, but we will be strong today as we celebrate Kwanzaa, the fifth principle, Nia, which means purpose. And what we do is we greet each other with Abarigani, which means to pull together, to come together, right? And then you would respond with the proverb, not the proverb, but the principle or nguzo saba, or the nguzo of the day, which today is Nia, which means purpose. Nia, which means purpose. What is your purpose? Do you think about that? Do you think about that? What is your purpose? This is the day where we talk about our whys, right? Why do we do what we do, right? We talk about our whys, that we talk about the impact that we want to make in this life, right? And so today is Nia, right? Purpose, okay? Now, what we're going to do before we do anything, right, is we're going to honor our ancestors, right? We're going to honor our ancestors through the pouring of libation, all right, symbolizing just as you pour water into the plant and the water nourishes the plant, our ancestors have poured into us and they have nourished us. Ashe. And so before we begin any endeavor, we want to honor our ancestors who we invite to be with us from their plane of awareness so we can be about the things that we are about and say the things that we are about to say. Now, this is an interactive activity, right? That all week we have been honoring our ancestors together before we get started. Thank you, Sia. Happy Nia to you as well, right? It's time to honor our ancestors, bring their energy into the space with us. We recognize that we would not be here if our ancestors were not here. And which brings us to our Nia, our purpose for our week-long global online community Kwanzaa celebration. And that purpose is to continue to build, expand, and develop Uhuru Academy online programs, right? We have a plan, we have a vision, we have a purpose, and that's why we're here today. So let's honor our ancestors in an interactive way. Not only can you put the name of an ancestor that you want to honor in the chat, right? But we also have an interactive smart board. And what I'm going to do is share a link with you to our interactive online smart board. All right. I'm going to share a link with you. Boom. And let me put it in the chat. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Boom. Okay. All right. I put a link in the chat, and I'm going to create a banner that has the link on the screen to our interactive smart board, where you can go online right now and type the name or post a picture of an ancestor that you would like to honor. All right. I would like to get us started honoring our ancestors this morning or this afternoon. I'd like to pour libation for my beautiful mother. I miss her so much. Alice Baker. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I like to pour libation for my father, Robert Parker. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. Ashe. I like to pour libation for Harriet Tubman. Ashe. All right, all right. And who would you like to pour libation for today? I can keep going, but who would you like us to honor in the chat? I see Miss DB there. I see Sister Sia there, Imani Moore. Some of you are online. Put in the chat, who would you like for me to honor this morning? As you do that, I'd like to honor Malcolm X. Ashe. As you do that, I'd like to honor the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Ashe. I'd like to honor the Right Reverend Nat Turner. Ashe. I like to honor Kwame Ture. Ashe. 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 I like to honor Miss DB's Grandma Katie. Ashe. Well, I like to honor my grandma, Jessie Mae Williams. Ashe. I like to honor my grandfather, James Cleveland Williams. Ashe. I like to honor, on behalf of Sister Sia, Baba Ed Crenshaw. Ashe. I like to honor Baba Eshundeli. Ashe. I like to honor Dorothy Steele on behalf of Imani Moore. Ashe. I like to honor my auntie, Billy McLean. Ashe. I like to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Ashe. I like to honor Amy Jacques Garvey. Ashe. I like to honor Kwame Nkrumah. Ashe. I like to honor, Baraba Frank. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We come from a beautiful and powerful people, y'all, right? We wouldn't know our purpose had they not known their purpose. We wouldn't be here if they weren't here. And they are part of our purpose. Honoring our ancestors is a part of our collective purpose. We honor their memory when we get our education. We honor their memory when we stand up for what's right. We honor their memory when we do right by ourselves, and we keep ourselves safe, when we preserve our culture, preserve our heritage. We are honoring the memory of our ancestors. Ashe. I like to honor all those who transition in the Middle Passage. Ashe. I like to honor Baba Hannibal Afrique. Ashe. I like to honor Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Ashe. I like to honor Queen Mother Moore. Ashe. Sojourner Truth. Ashe. Denmark Vesey. Ashe. Ya Asante Wa. Ashe. We come from a beautiful and proud people. A beautiful and proud people. At this time, I like to honor all those we have not named, but we certainly have not forgotten. Ashe. 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 Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Again, I ask you to forgive that I'm not on camera. I know some of y'all just tune in to look at me, It's like, but I forgive, I'm having some computer issues right now. And so you will have my voice, you won't have my face, but we have a special guest coming on today. Dr. Oya Mayat will be joining us. We're also going to be sharing a Kwanzaa presentation from Uhuru Academy scholar Sanique Israel today as well. We're also going to look at a curriculum highlight from Uhuru Academy online, and I'm talking about our Warrior Weekly Visionary Vocabulary list that our students study each and every week as well. So I'm not going to keep you real long, but we're going to keep you real strong. Now, just like we've done on the previous days, we have a proverb for today. Now, today's principle is Nia, which means purpose. Right. And if you look up the Kwanzaa definition, the way that the official Kwanzaa definition reads, right, it's a commitment to the collective vocation of building, developing, and defending our community, its culture and history in order to regain our historical initiative and greatness as a people and add to the good and beauty in the world. Right. So Nia is a commitment to the collective vocation. Now, collective means together. What does collective mean? Together. Vocation means job, task, right? So a collective task. That means this is a task that we are set to do together, right? And together, right? By embracing Nia, we're saying we're making a commitment to the collective task of building. We're talking action, y'all. Developing, right? And defending, because if you build it, you have to be willing to defend it. Our community, its culture and history, in order to regain, to do what? Regain, that means we had it before, because it said regain our historical initiative and greatness as a people. Wow. When we celebrate Nia, we celebrate our collective recognition, our recognition that we are here to work collectively. We're here to work collectively to build, maintain, and defend our community. And we're here to work collectively to regain, right? To regain a historical perspective, right? That we had prior to the Ma'afa, prior to losing our history, prior to going through this disaster that we've gone through for the past 300 years in this country, where we've literally had to regain our history and culture. We're still fighting to teach our history and culture in schools where we pay taxes. We're still fighting to learn our story in public schools. Some of us are still confused and afraid to learn our story. Too many of us are taught that our story begins in slavery. How can you regain a historical perspective if you begin your history in a state of slavery? If you adopt a narrative that says that your people have always been inferior, and though slavery was bad, at least it civilized you. Even though colonialism was bad, at least you're civilized now. At least you use a fork and a spoon now. At least you wear clothes and shoes now, because the narrative that you have is that prior to slavery, you were a savage. Prior to slavery, you made no contribution to humanity by way of the high sciences. You didn't make any mathematical contributions. You didn't make any historical contributions. You didn't make any contributions in government and in science and in language. So your whole historical perspective is that you're the only group of people on earth that all the other group of people taught how to be human. That somehow your ancestors were taught how to be families. Somehow our ancestors were taught how to work, taught how to speak, taught how to read. It's a trip where people say that, the slaves couldn't read. The black people couldn't read. The slaves could read. No, they couldn't read English. They hadn't been exposed to English. But many of those, most of those who have been enslaved came from a language with a script, came from a written language, a custom that had a language, and a custom that had a language that were writing letters down. Many of those who were kidnapped were Muslims and wrote Arabic. Many wrote West African script. So when you think that your history begins with nothingness, when you think that your history begins with yourself being brought out of the dark ages by the same people who oppressed you, then your historical nia, instead of moving the world forward, you feel like your historical purpose is just to catch up with the rest of the world. So we walk around being raised to catch up, to be accepted, to catch up with the rest of the world, as opposed to taking the world by its hand and moving the world forward as our ancestors once did. That's why this collective job, this collective vocation of building our community and preserving our history is so important. If you don't know where you've been, then you don't understand where you are. And if you don't understand where you are, how can you be prepared for where you're going? That's why Nia is so important. Yes, it's also important for you as an individual to know and define your purpose. But it's within our collective purpose that your individual purpose has added meaning. Yeah, I've known people, I've known brothers and sisters who've had all the money they could spend, all the money in the world, and could buy whatever they wanted to buy. And I've watched rich people sit in the middle. I've watched someone who was rich in money sit in the middle of all these beautiful things and say, I feel empty on the inside. I don't know my purpose. I want to do something that makes a difference. But had that brother and that sister been connected to a collective purpose, as beautiful as the purpose of building our community is, had they been connected to that, then a portion of that wealth would go to that, and it would go to that not just to help others, but when we help others, we are truly helping who? We're truly helping ourselves. That's why we have to take time out with our family and discuss not only the individual purpose of everyone at the family table, but what's your family purpose? Then what's the purpose of your community? Go look outside. What type of community do you live in? And why? What's the collective purpose of you and your neighbors? Do you want to beautify the community? Do you want a safe community where children can play and businesses can thrive? Because that's a collective purpose. When you're disconnected from that, when you're raised and taught that, no, your community is a community that you should get away from, that's disconnecting you from the collective purpose. When you're taught that your community has no value, that disconnects you from your collective what? Your collective purpose. And all the time while you're taught that your community has no value, people who live in other communities set up businesses in your community, make millions of dollars in your community that you don't want, and then take the dollars from your community and invest in their community. And when you go to their community, you look and you see parks partially paid for by money made in your community. You see little league teams that are thriving, partially paid for by money made in your community. You see businesses that are clean and thriving, partially financed by money brought in from your community. You see bigger schools, partially financed by money that was brought from your community. So those who are making money in your community, they're attached to a collective nia in their community. And we're not mad at them for having a collective Nia in their community. But when your collective Nia is everyone try to get out of the community, that destroys the community. And that sends a message that says we don't want to have a Black community. We don't want to have a community where our culture thrives. We don't want to have a community that looks like us, where the murals and paintings on the wall look like us. We don't want to have a community where business leaders who look like us can thrive, where children who look like us have big schools that speak to their culture and connects them to success inside and outside of the community. We're saying we don't want a clean community. We don't want a community that's policed fairly. We just want to leave. And when that's your collective Nia, then you've destroyed your cultural base, your cultural foundation, your cultural immune system. Today we have a proverb. I love the Kwanzaa definition of Nia because it talks about work. It talks about action. It talks about building and developing and defending. It talks about regaining and maintaining. It talks about putting in that action. A lot of people avoid these conversations because they don't want to be held accountable for action. The Uhuru Academy is an action-based initiative. We're not talking to you about what we're going to do. We're showing you what we're doing. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Investments have been made. And if I had to do it all over again, I would. All right. Thank you for that message, Mama Alexis, one of our beautiful and powerful instructors at the Uhuru Academy. In her Msingi 1 classroom, our lower elementary, we have a 3rd grade student out of Chicago, I believe, out of the Midwest, Zamara Holloway. Right? Zamara's a 3rd grader, and purpose is in her name. And she says her name Zamara means to correct. And her purpose was to correct her community. She says purpose is in her name being Zamara, which means to correct. And she says she declares in the 3rd grade that her purpose is to prepare and correct her community. She's not 9 years old. And her family is already laying a foundation, right? For her family's already laying a base, a perspective for her. When she goes out and she looks at her community, she said, no, we're going to correct this. I'm going to be a part of the group that corrects this. Thank you, Mama Israel. Another proud Uhuru Academy parent. Y'all, this is an ongoing fundraiser. An ongoing initiative. We are going to establish the greatest online learning platform for Black people in the world at uhuruacademy.org. On our learning platform, we will be hosting our live K-12 Uhuru Academy online global homeschool. We'll be hosting our Operation Reconnect adult education program. We'll be hosting Uhuru University, where you'll be able to sign up and earn certifications in industries that are marketable throughout the world. You'll also be able to sign up as an instructor and offer courses in your area of expertise for free and for pay. We're developing a partnership with industry and Black people that are in multiple industries who will come in and sponsor the education, sponsor the classes on our platform. And in return, we're helping them develop their workers of the future. Let me put the StreamYard link in the chat. If you want to join community, if you want to join in, feel free. If you want to join in and talk about your purpose, feel free today. feel free today. If you want to support the Uhuru Academy right now, $ Uhuru Academy Cash App. You can scan the QR code in the upper right-hand corner of the screen as well to make a donation. You can also, as you see on the bottom of the screen, become an Uhuru Academy monthly patron. Join our Patreon channel, patreon.com/Uhuru Academy. Commit to a monthly donation. This is your opportunity to be a part of this great work. We do have a proverb today, and perhaps I need to get to that, right? And it's a powerful proverb. And I want you to take this proverb to heart, because everything that we want to accomplish as a people is going to require some work, but it's going to be beautiful work, right? Right. And so this is a beautiful proverb, right? And the proverb is, pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you must dive for it. I'm going to let Puppet Baba talk to y'all about it.
Peace and power, scholars. I hope everybody had a powerful weekend. All right, today's writing prompt, today's African proverb is simply this: pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. I'm gonna say it again. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it, right? So let's look at the pearl like your goals, like that treasure, that your goal is that treasure, what you want to achieve, being a data analyst, being a lawyer, being an anthropologist, right? Being an entrepreneur, right? That's your pearl. Getting your education, that's your pearl. Well, y'all, pearls, which are the true treasures of the sea, they don't lie on the shore. The shore, right, is the beginning of the ocean. It's the land. It's where the water meets the land, right? If all the treasures were on the shore, anyone could get one. But no, if you want a pearl, and what makes a pearl so precious is that you have to dive to get one. You have to dive in the ocean, fight the currents, right? You have to navigate the darkness of the sea. Then you have to find the clam or the oyster or clam that contains the pearl. So there's painstaking effort that goes into finding a pearl. And it's going to take painstaking effort, incredible effort to achieve your goals. Your goals are not just sitting in front of you for you to easily grab. You got to dive for them. You have to work for them. You have to study for them. You have to listen. You know what I'm saying? You have to adapt. You have to get knocked down and get back up. If you're going to achieve anything in life, you got to be willing to go through what it takes to get there. And you have what it takes. And whenever it gets tough, when you're working towards your goals and it seems like they're far away or it's too much work to get there, remind yourself of this proverb. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. Do you have what it takes to dive for your pearls? If not, that's what we're here for. We're here to get you in that kind of shape. We're here to get you in the shape that you need to be in to achieve your goals at a high level. It's not supposed to be easy, but it's guaranteed to be worth it. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. Your goals are not just sitting in your lap. If you want to achieve them, you have to work for them. Today, I want you to write what this proverb means to you. And after you write what this proverb means to you, I want you to write how it applies to your life. What's your pearl? What's your pearl? What's that goal, that ultimate goal that you want to achieve? And what type of diving do you have to do? Or what type of work do you have to do in order to get there? You can also write a story and have this proverb as the moral of your story. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. I can't wait to read. No, I'm looking forward to reading what you write. Enjoy yourselves. Peace.
I like that track. What do you think about that proverb, family? What do you think about that proverb? Pearls do not lie on the seashore. If you want one, you must dive for it, right? How does that relate to finding our Nia, right? How does that get us ready to embrace a Nia that calls for us to work, a Nia that calls for us to step up, to step our game up, that calls us to study, a Nia, a lot of times it's easy, sometimes I'll get children, I say, well, what do you want to be and what do you want to do? And sometimes they'll think of something that they already know how to do really good, and they say, I just want to do that, right? Sometimes we pick the thing that we think that's accessible right now, right? And we challenge our students. We say, well, let's look at something that you can't already do, right? Let's look at something that's related to what you like, but let's look at it on another level. So you say you like to draw stick figures. Let's see if we can get into 3D animation. What about 3D animation? Let's take it to another level. Let's look at the next level up in skill from what it is that you want to do. And let's look at what it takes to get that done. Right? Oh, y'all. That's what Nia is all about. And so we have to remind ourselves when we're talking about Nia, talking about purpose, pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you must dive for it. What does this proverb mean to you? It's not enough to just know your purpose. It's not enough to just articulate your purpose. You got to dive. You got to get to work. It's not enough to just do a ritual for your purpose. I did a prayer. I went to the altar. I made an offering. All that is good. That is great. But you still got to get up and work. You still have to get up and dive. You still have to get up. Those rituals and that spiritual, that preparation is to build you up and get you strong enough to go through the gauntlet. Too many of us will pray for it and throw for it and offer for it and then wait for it to come to us like magic. You're the magic when it comes to achieving your goals. You're the magic. You're weaving the spell. When we teach our students, when you're at school, you're weaving the spell, right? You're writing your destiny. You're writing your destiny with everything that you do. Because pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you must what? Dive for it. I say. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep it moving. I pray that someone is getting something from this discussion today. And make sure you're liking this video, sharing this video. There should be thousands of people listening to this message right now. And we can get this message to thousands of people. We're going to get this message to thousands of people because this is an ongoing fundraiser. So every effort you make to spread this message, every effort counts. Every effort counts. At the Uhuru Academy online, we are African-centered and we are also empowerment-based. And what that means is that our approach to education is meant to empower students to take their destiny within their hands and to walk it, to declare a path and walk that path. It's designed to open up a menu of global options, a menu of possible futures that our students didn't know existed before they came to school. In doing that, we have to help them enhance their vocabulary. We have to help them enhance their speech. Global languages is required. We don't say foreign. Ain't nothing foreign. Ain't nothing foreign to a global citizen. So we don't say foreign languages at the Uhuru Academy. We say global languages. All students are required to take at least 2 global languages each year and given the option to choose a third that they're passionate about learning. See, if we're going to declare a Nia, if you're going to declare a purpose, you need a broad menu. And we have not been empowering our children to declare a purpose that matches the divinity and innate intelligence that's already inside of them. So you telling a natural genius the best they can do is go to college and get a job? Is that what you telling a natural genius? That's the ceiling? The ceiling is you go to college, get a degree, you can get a good job. That's the ceiling? Ain't nothing wrong with it, but is that the ceiling though? Nothing wrong with going to college, getting your degree and getting a good job. But is that the ceiling? Can I also travel the world? Can I also create a job? Can I create something that didn't exist yesterday? Can I change the world? Can I build a business and create jobs and provide jobs for others? I've been working with young people for 30 years, and man, ooh, if I could tell you how many young people that have experienced an adult, young Black people have experienced an adult discouraging them from achieving their purposes. Something, I mean, I just want to have my own business. No, you don't want to take no risk of having your own business. You're gonna be broke. Ain't nobody, no, don't do that. You better get out here and get you a job. Wow. They're not gonna let you do that out here. See, many of us are born with our Nia. We're born with our purpose. Many of us have carried a divine Nia through generational trauma, and it's still there. It's still there gnawing at you like, I know I'm here for a reason. Right? Oh, man. Okay, so I want to share a spotlight. I want to share a curriculum spotlight with you all, right? And the curriculum spotlight is with the Uhuru Academy vocabulary. UA, we call it the UA Warrior vocabulary, right? And I'm going to briefly share my screen, right? I'm going to briefly share my screen. UA Warrior vocabulary, right? And I'm going to briefly share my screen so you kind of see. Right now we're using Google Classroom where we go in and we post our assignments, but this is going to be moved to our new platform as a result of this fundraiser, right? But the UA Warrior vocabulary, right? And every week or every 2 weeks, our students receive a vocabulary list. Now, these vocabulary lists can range in theme. Sometimes it may be a vocabulary list of just SAT level words or sight words for their particular age group. But a lot of times these words have a motivational theme. A lot of times these words are words of power or words of the vanguard, right? We want to introduce words, right, into our students' conversation, right, that will help them articulate their purpose in a powerful way. And since we're using so-called English, then we're going to be masters of these words. We're going to use impactful words in that language, just as they're going to be using impactful words in any language that they learn, right? One of my favorite lists this semester has been our Words of the Vanguard vocabulary list. One of the things that our children receive when they get their vocabulary list, and this is one from our Hakima, from our high school, right? They receive an ebook, an original ebook as a part of the Uhuru Academy curriculum that will be available to the public very soon. Very soon. Let me show y'all what we got. Show y'all what we have here. And I'm glad UA online student Norley from Accra, Ghana is backstage because I'm actually going to highlight her vocabulary presentation here in a minute. Right. But students receive an ebook like this one, the Uhuru Academy UA vocabulary. This is book 3, Words of the Vanguard. Right. And they get it in flip book form where you can flip the pages and that sort of thing. I have it in PDF form right here. Right. It's called Words of the Vanguard, Vocabulary for African Innovators, Trailblazers, and Trendsetters, right? There's a specialized vocabulary ebook designed to empower future leaders, thinkers, and creators within the global Black community. Language is power, and this book aims at instilling you the terms that will help you articulate your visionary ideas with precision. As students of the Uhuru Academy, it's essential to arm yourselves with the vocabulary that will elevate your discourse and your what? And your thinking. We're more than just a Black history class, y'all. We're challenging our students, and the work is rigorous. So then you come with a vocabulary list and you know, look at these words. We look for words that we know our students do not commonly use, but words that they could use, and words that once introduced would enhance their vocabulary. Words that they have a use for. You walk into a job interview and you have these words in your vocabulary, oh, you're gonna get the job. You're pitching a business idea and you have these words in your vocabulary, oh, you're gonna get some funding, right? Words like catalyst, an agent that provokes or accelerates significant change or action. We teach all of our students, you can be a catalyst for change. You can be a catalyst for growth. You can be a catalyst for success. And you should see their faces when I can be a catalyst. I'm a catalyst. I'm a catalyst for growth and change in our community. Zamara Holloway, third grader, Midwest, she's a catalyst for change in her community, and she's not 9 years old. Confluence, a coming together of people or things. Disruptive technologies, ideas, or methods that displace existing systems. We teach our children innovators are disruptors. You have to be willing to disrupt systems that aren't working. You have to be willing to dismantle systems that aren't working. So in our school, disruption, we don't say disruption in reference to someone interrupting the class. You are a classroom disruption. That's when most of our children are introduced to the word disruption. So when they grow up and something needs to be disrupted, they don't do it because whenever you were disrupting class, you got in trouble. In an empowerment-based institution, you teach our children that disruption is necessary. Your task is to know when to disrupt, but by all means, be willing to disrupt. See, it's not just what you teach, it's how you teach it and the perspective from which you teach it from. And if I sound passionate, it's because I am. Divergent, deviating from the norm. Non-traditional thinking. Some things seem like tradition that really are not. Some behaviors can be introduced to you like it's tradition. Man, we get high around here. That's just what we do. Nah, I'm divergent. We empower our children to be divergent in their thinking when necessary, because sometimes you have to deviate from the norm. And in the age of social media, our children definitely need to know how to deviate from things that seem like it's the norm. Behaviors that are being normalized. Divergent thinkers. Ecosystem, be aware of what's going on around you. Interconnected elements, creating an environment for growth or decay. Your ecosystem can build you up or it can tear you down. It's important that we empower our children to understand the power that they have to influence their ecosystem. These are some of the words that we deal with. Now, not only do they have to go through and define all of these words, well, we provide them with a definition. I want you to master the definition in these words. So not only do they have to study the definitions in these words, right? Then they have to write each vocabulary word 5 times each and commit them to memory. Afterwards, we have to practice using each word in a complete sentence that relates to your personal experience and aspirations. So we immediately challenge them to take the vocabulary and apply it to their lives. Do y'all see what we're doing now? We're not just trying to pass the SAT. No. We're not just trying to pass a standardized test. That's not what we're trying to do. We're internalizing key terms and concepts. that'll empower them to reach their goals. The SAT part will take care of itself, because by internalizing these words, if they see them again, if they see these words anywhere, they'll know exactly what they mean and how to pronounce them correctly. And they'll know the etymology of the word as well. Each list comes with a reading passage, right? And inside the reading passage, you will see each and every vocabulary word. As the vanguard of the global Black community, we find ourselves at a critical inflection point. Our ethos, deeply rooted in the struggles and triumphs of our ancestors, guides us in this era of disruptive technologies and social paradigms. We go and we comb through these paragraphs. We comb through these paragraphs meticulously, and we make sure they understand what every sentence is saying. And they can translate it from that language into street language, into hood language, into youth language, however they need to translate it. This is reading comprehension, and it's relevant, and it's speaking to a vision. Then they come into the comprehension and vocabulary questions using context clues. What does vanguard refer to in the passage? How is ethos described in the passage? What is synergy in the context of the passage? How is the term divergent used in the context of African leadership? Do you see the relevance? What is the main topic discussed in the reading passage? Then they have to go through some fill in the blank questions. Then they have critical thinking questions, because we're not here just to memorize. In what ways can the concept of synergy contribute to advancing the global Black community? Ooh, that's a cool question to be asked in the 9th grade. Ain't that a powerful question to be asked as a 9th grader? How do you envision futurism playing a role in African innovation and leadership? Describe an example where ethos has directly impacted your life or the community around you. Y'all, and they respond. Because we discuss in such, in depth, and because we make sure we're helping them translate these terms into words that they understand, they respond to these questions. And then each student is assigned a word from the vocabulary list, and they have to do a presentation on that word. That word becomes their special word, and they have to do a presentation on that special word. And let me invite my special guest in here as well. We got a special guest coming up here in a few minutes. All right, let me invite her in. Very, very special person to me and to our school. And let me do this. Boom. All right, so Dr. Ma'at, if you're watching, I messaged you the StreamYard link. I'm going to put it in the chat as well, right? Now, each student has to do a presentation on the word that's assigned to them, right? And in their presentation, they have to give us the correct spelling and pronunciation of the word. They have to use the word in a sentence. They have to give us the definition of the word and write the definition, the official definition and the definition in their own words. An example of that word as it relates to global Black culture, we want it to be relevant. A slide where you explain why you chose that word and what you learned while researching it. An interactive activity for the audience to engage with the word. And then a questions, comments, and concerns slide for audience participation. They do this weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. Of course, we always lead with a powerful quote and passage of encouragement at the end of each ebook. Norley says presentations are usually their favorite part. You learn so much and get to be 100% creative. That's one of our Hakeem, our 10th grader. She's in Accra, Ghana right now. I told you the celebration was global. And I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you feel that way, Norley, because I wanted to use one of your presentations as an example. And I'm going to bring you on, but not for you to present, because, we have to be sensitive to the the signal and everything like that, right? But I want people to see. I want people to see and experience some of your great work. I'm going to bring you up front. I'm going to bring you up front here as well. Now, let me get this off the stage. What I got on stage. Let me remove that. All right. I'm going to bring Norley up. All right. Peace, Norley. How's your signal? Peace. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing
How's
good. Oh, wait a minute.
going
Let's do
so
this.
far?
Yeah, let's do this the correct way. Habari Gani.
Nia. Happy New Year, everyone.
I say, Norley, I appreciate you taking time out, because it's what time is it in Accra right now?
It's almost 8, so right now it's 7:50 p.m.
All right. It's almost 8. I appreciate you taking time out on a Saturday night to hang out
Yeah,
with us.
I couldn't
And
make
doing,
it yesterday.
it's okay. It is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. All right. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's go here. I want to share a presentation you did on the word futuristic or futurism.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I want
That
to share.
presentation is probably like one of my favorites.
You did a great job on this word, right? You did a great job on the word futurism, and you use Canva, right? And very skilled, very creative. Like you said, you enjoy doing this because you learn and because you get to be creative, correct?
Sure, because in my presentation, you see, we get to pick someone to represent our presentation.
Right.
So, for example, you can pick an ancestor or someone who's currently living and making a difference in Africa or in other countries. And I picked a woman who lives in South Africa, which is basically channeling AI into our own languages. And I think it was just so powerful how we're now, we don't have to speak English all the time. We can speak in our own languages on our phones. The way Koreans and Chinese have their own keyboards, we can have our own keyboards, and
I
they
see.
can be common. We don't have to have extensions,
Mm.
So Pelonomi Molia was one of the people who I felt was really gravitating towards that goal to have AI for Africans by Africans, solving African problems, So I think she's a very powerful woman who has made a very big impact.
I say, you talking about Nia, you talk about purpose, you talking about accepting a vocation that makes our community better. I think that Sister Pelanomi is a great example that you chose. And that's the beauty of it for me, is that you all, when given the freedom to research, when given the parameters and the freedom to research, y'all never cease to amaze me at some of the information that you find, and we all end up learning. And I think that's powerful. This is a beautiful presentation. You do great presentations in general, right? And you also included a poem in this one.
Yes, I wrote the poem for this because I was just writing, and I
Mhm.
just started coming up with rhymes, and I was like, futurism, I could just do a poem inspired by futurism.
I
So if
say,
it's fine with you, I can just recite the poem.
go ahead.
All right. So the future is a canvas, a place where dreams are born, a world of endless possibilities where the impossible is proved wrong and reborn. A
Mm.
world is of flying cars and robots, of cities that touch the sky. A world of neon lights and holograms where the stars never die. Our futuristic dreams are coming to life, a sense of realization. A world of endless innovation where technology reigns supreme. A world of boundless imagination where the future is but a dream
I
reborn.
say, I say. Let me snap that up. I got to give you some snaps. That's what we do in our poetry slams, right? We give snaps, right? And this is a wonderful presentation. And when you go through the slides, they're beautifully done. The transitions. This is where you first introduce the South African data scientist Pelonomi Moiloa. Is
Yes.
the Yes, the first companies that are developing AI-based products. What an innovator, right? And like you said, she's solving African problems. She's a data scientist, right? And so when helping our children, and I'm talking to the family, the global family that's watching right now, when empowering our children to succeed, right? When empowering our children to find a purpose, we must open up the Pandora's box of the different occupations and the different skill sets that are out there, and then tie those skill sets into ways that they can help our community, right? She's a data scientist, and she figured out how to use the skill set that she has to make an impact on her people, right? And Norley's going to do the same, right? So, and you went into her life, her school life, oh, and then we have Lilapa AI. That's the company. That's the software.
Yes, that's one of their prototypes
That's one of their
that's been
prototypes
released.
they're working on right now. Lilapa AI. Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful. All right, right. And so it becomes, and I think you're curious. I like that. I like that. Y'all really have fun with these. Why did I choose this word exactly? Right. I love this. Right. So I love this. So again, family, our students, they have to talk about, why did you choose this word? So we don't want them to coming in just giving us flat answers to try to please everybody. No, we want them to get engaged with their work, get engaged with what they're doing, and then put that engagement on display, right? Right. And then making it interactive. It's time for a fun GimKit. So we went to the gimkit.com, and you do a GimKit, and inside the game, they have to answer questions from the presentation in order to be successful at the game. So now you have an interactive activity. We're basically teaching our children how to lesson plan and deliver a lesson. I believe that Uhuru Academy students will be the best online teachers in the world. And then thank you, and a great job, right? Norley, great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job, in doing that. And before you leave, Norley, I'm going to ask you real quickly, what's your Nia?
My Nia, well, I mean, my Nia is, well, currently I've been trying to release a book that I wrote, and that is my way of finding my Nia in a stable form.
Say,
I was writing this book for like Cypher Friday. Cypher Friday is basically a day where we get to share our stories and presentations that we've made to all of our students. And I created this story just thinking it was going to be like a fun little activity. And everyone was telling me, why don't you make it a book? Why don't you make it a novel? I'm like, I never thought I would get to this extent to making a whole book. And I just realized that I have so much potential just,
say,
expressing my creativity and not letting anything get in the way, because I feel like I've been doubting myself for a very long time. And when I went into Uhuru, everyone was just so open and welcoming. And like, I was blown away by the students and the teachers, because like I've been to other schools and I've never seen teachers like Baba Amin, Mama Nkoyo, Mama Alexis, Mama Gabit, Miss Haley, all the other teachers. And it's just very warming. Like, I'm encouraged to go to school, and I feel like you can never really get a school like this when you go into a school and you just want to go to school. Because there was this one time, it was Kwame Nkrumah's think it was his birthday, so it was a holiday in Ghana. So Baba Amin excused the Ghana students to have their holiday whilst he was teaching the other students. So I went out, I was exhausted, but then I still wanted to go to school. And I'm just thinking, like, I have never wanted to go back to school when I've been permitted to go on a holiday. It has never happened for me. So
Yeah.
this just showed how good this school is. You know, you're actually looking forward to learn, you're actually looking forward to create and innovate. And I think it's very powerful how, we have each other, and, even if it's online, like, I mean, it's quite a sacrifice for yourself to make this, to have a very impactful future. So
I see.
it's been a very, very great experience, a great couple of months for me in this school, and I really appreciate everyone in my school because they've really given me a boost.
Well, we appreciate you, and just watching you grow over the last few months has been phenomenal. Just bringing it out, and y'all don't get it twisted. She is a great author, but she's a budding scientist as well. And agricultural science is your field, right?
Hashtag, yes.
I say, and speaking of STEM, speaking of science, technology, engineering, and math, and thank you, Norley. I'm going to put you black stage. Thank you so much
Okay.
for
Bye, everyone.
representing for our viewers today. All right, all right. Speaking of STEM, speaking of science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math, we have a scientist in the house today, right? We have a scientist in the house with us today. This sister, we've been knowing each other for years, but we've been working in lockstep because we found out that our NIAs are intertwined, that our purpose are intertwined. And this is someone I could truly say that I could truly say from the bottom of my heart is my comrade in this collective vocation, this commitment to this vocation of building our community, maintaining, defending, preparing our children for the future, regaining our historical perspective. We've been working in lockstep for the past 2 years through the UACI Summer STEM program. I would call it a camp, but it's so much bigger than a camp. Right, the UACI Summer STEM program. She is the founder of Ed Anime Productions. She is the founder. Let me bring her back. We ain't worrying about that. We're gonna bring you right back in here. She is the founder of Conscious Ingenuity. Morgan State University is blessed to have her there working as an officially an engineering professor. I call her a builder of Black electrical engineers. She creates engineers for a living. That's what she does. It's one thing to be an engineer. To be an engineer that develops engineers, that's next level to me. All right. Everyone, please show love for my sister, Dr. Oya Mayat. How you doing, Doc?
I'm over here. Can you hear me, Baba?
Yes.
Baba, I'm over here. You got me smiling from ear to ear, man. You got it, Baba. You got away with words, brother. You got away with words, brother. They gotta watch you. But no, but peace and love to you, Baba. I mean, and I hope you know that the feeling is mutual. Anyone who knows me, they know that I hold you in very, 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 very high regard, and it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to be working with you. And you were 1,000% correct when you talked about how our NIAs, our purpose, are in alignment. You have been an African centered educator for decades.
Yes.
And I'm new to this journey. I'm new to this journey, and so I follow your lead on a lot of things. But it's like they are definitely aligned, and that we are pushing what we call African centered STEM education in the community. And like I said, it's an honor to be working with you. I really, really wanted to come on when we talked. It was not Koji Chagalia, but it was Ujima. Yes, collective work and responsibility. Yes, absolutely. Because when you put up the post on Facebook, and so for those who are watching, and Baba Amin put up a post on Facebook. I think it was for collective work and responsibility. And you were saying that this was either it was that or it was Umoja. It was one of those Kwanzaa principles. And you were saying that, and I want to say it may have been Umoja, but you were saying how us coming together, and yes, it was Umoja, but you were saying us coming together was a beautiful example of that, of Black unity, African unity, and coming together for a purpose. That's why I'm mentioning this, to come together for a purpose. And that's what we did when we produced the UACI STEM camp. And I said I was going to stop calling it a summer camp, because we're at a point, Baba, where we will be offering the UACI STEM camp every break. So we talked about summer, and then doing it in the winter, and then doing it in the spring, and so you see how it started with a summer camp. But anyway, it was a beautiful example of Umoja, a beautiful example of Kujichagulia, a beautiful example of collective work and responsibility, and a beautiful example of Nia, our purpose. And so, Baba, I don't know what, I didn't plan to talk about anything, but if you wanted me to talk about my purpose and how I found my purpose.
We having a conversation, and I know you, whether we talking on the phone or chatting on Facebook, or what, the conversation the spirit just kind of takes care of things,
Absolutely.
And when we're talking about truth and truth that we're living, it's easy to discuss, and you don't really need to take notes, yes, that when I went on Umoja, when we kicked off Kwanzaa, I was just going through videos and going through some things, and I thought about us, and I thought about conscious ingenuity and the Uhuru Academy, and how we made that work, how you have to meet, you disagree on things, you agree on things, you have deadlines that have to be met, and understandings, and you're very meticulous with words, right? I have a way with words, but you don't play with words. So it's
so Ankh must have been right. Is that what you're telling me? Ankh was right.
Y'all, the text got to have the right tone. You got the whole 9 yards. So but which is great, because iron sharpens iron, right?
Right.
And I love that you are a direct communicator. Right?
Yes.
Where do you get that from? Because I believe that direct communication is something. I've been in a lot of organizations, and direct communication, or the lack thereof, has been something that has ruined some great ideas. Like people who just don't want to say what's on their mind, or afraid to ask an uncomfortable question, afraid to be disruptive. Right. Where do you get that from? I know your mom's a pastor, so I know she don't mind. I met Mama. She's a direct communicator.
Yes.
Where do you get that skill to be, a direct communicator? And when did you become aware that was an asset, not a liability?
Well, thank you, Baba. I think that you're 1,000% correct in your observation. I got to call Ankh after this and tell him I guess he was right. But I think that my mom is a communicator, but she doesn't talk a lot. So even with her being a pastor, even though she's an educator, she's been an educator for over 35 years in the Baltimore City public school system. She doesn't she communicates now, of course, when she's teaching and when she's ministering, she does communicate. But in our household, she's a very quiet woman. She's always been a very quiet, laid back sort of woman. And I don't know if you got that when you met her. Absolutely. Very kind of like, laid back, soft spoken woman. My father is a direct communicator. He's a sharpshooter. That's where I think I get it from. And as a child, I remember when we spent time together, he always said, "What are you thinking about? Tell me how you feel." So I was always encouraged to share my thoughts, to share my opinions, my views, my feelings. Right. And so I think as a result of having him, ask those questions. What are you thinking about? Because he said he would see my little brain going off. And I say, "Nothing, Daddy." He's like, "Oh, no. And he would pull it out of me. "What are you thinking about? You're thinking about something, or you want to ask a question. So he created a space for me that made me feel comfortable expressing myself unapologetically. To the point where it got me in trouble sometimes, as you can imagine, as a child being vocal. And then, I came up under the boomers, with the boomers, is do what I tell you to do. You don't ask no questions, Right. And so he's creating this child that's kind of vocal, in, in a climate where you have a lot of boomers around and they came from that era, you're a child, stay in a child's place. No, don't share your views, don't share your opinions, just do what I tell you to do. So I used to get in trouble for it a whole lot, Baba, growing up. And she too mouthy. That girl, get that girl, she too mouthy. And mommy would pop me, so I used to get in trouble for it a whole lot. But as I gotten older, I did realize that I did need a filter, right? It's good to be diplomatic, right? You got to be diplomatic. You got to filter. Yeah, you got to filter some of the things that you communicate. But I realized as an older person that a lot of people aren't effective communicators. That some people don't tell you how they feel and what they're thinking, and if they're mad, they just stop talking to you. You're like, what the hell? What happened? But and I realized that it was a skill. I never thought it was a skill. I never thought communication was a skill, but it is an interpersonal skill. It's a soft skill. It's an interpersonal skill, and you got to work. Some people that don't have it have to work on it. But to answer your question, I do attribute my father with why I am a direct communicator, because he was the one that always encouraged me to speak the things that are on my heart and the things that are on my mind.
I say. But Dr. Ma'at, why STEM? Why science, technology, engineering, and math? And why make it culturally relevant?
Great.
When people think science, math, technology, they don't think culture. You think microscopes and things like that, screwdrivers and all that kind of stuff. So why science, technology, engineering, and math for us? And why must it be culturally relevant?
Absolutely. Well, let me say this. Initially, I did not connect culture to STEM. I always go to my sources. And one of my sources, give thanks, was Dr. Amos Wilson, his book, Falsification of African Consciousness. I give thanks for that work. In that book, maybe within the first 20 or 30 pages, he talks about science and math. And he says in that book that Black children do not learn science and mathematics neutrally. He said that typically as you're learning science, as you're learning mathematics, you're also learning European history, right? European history. He also, within the first 20 or 30 pages, talked about the school system a little bit. And he said that it was built on a psychology of white people, European people. And he said that's why there's such a disconnect, between, African people. And so he's talking about continental and diasporan, but African people and the education system as it is. And so when he said that, I never made the connection, even though I've gone through school and gone all the way from bachelor's all the way to doctorate. I never thought of science and math not being neutral. It never dawned on me. So that never dawned on me. So that's one. I wanted to bring up Dr. Amos Wilson. I also want to uplift Onkaket. Onkaket was also, even this is before I've read the book Falsification of African Consciousness. Onkaket started teaching me about our history, our contributions to STEM, stuff that I never heard of. He's throwing, because he loves to study archaeology and the bones. And he's like, yeah, have you ever heard of the Lubumbo bone? And then I'm like, no. And so he's feeding me these things. I'm going off, as a researcher, I'm trying to find out, what is this? Or what is this Lubumbo bone and a Shango bone? And oh my goodness, the Ron papyrus. And I'm looking at these different things. So he was actually the first person to bring that to me. And then I read the book Falsification of African Consciousness, and Dr. Amos Wilson talked about how we don't learn science and math neutrally. European history is at the core. He even said European epistemology and history is at the core of when you're learning these fields. Also, Carter G. Woodson, talked about, how there's this disconnect. So anyway, given all of the material, the different people that I was exposed to, that's when I began to say, hey, one more person I want to uplift, Dr. Kemet Shockley. He has books on African-centered education. That brother used to teach over at Howard. I think he's at another HBCU now. But he published a paper with another brother named Burbanks. And they talked about the connection between STEM and culture. So this is nothing. I just want to be clear. This is nothing that I just came up with on my own. I've been, these brothers, that I've been connected with, or, either they exposed me to it directly or indirectly through their own work, had planted that in me that, hold on, wait a minute, there is a connection between culture in STEM. And if
Right.
you're going to teach these concepts, STEM concepts, to African children, then it has to be in the context of African culture.
I say.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like you can't be teaching them science concepts in the context of European culture. You just can't do that.
Right.
And so then you wonder why our children think STEM is white. Well, if you're teaching these concepts and you're telling them that, well, the father of electricity, that's Benjamin Franklin, and the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, that came from Pythagoras, a Greek, and you're showing this, they think that it's a white thing because you're teaching these concepts in the context of European history and culture. And so in order for us to become interested and engaged in STEM, then we then had to teach it in the context of African culture. And you saw, Bob, I mean, how when we came together and did that with the UACI camp, look at the data that we're getting ready to publish with the American Society for Engineering Education Conference. Those children now, I want to be a scientist. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a mathematician. I want to go to college. Remember when we looked at the data, it showed it was very small percentage of them who said, I'm thinking about going to college. But then after the program, I think it was like 96 or 97% of the children said, now I want to go to college and I want to pursue STEM. But it's because of the way STEM was presented to them. It was presented in the context of African culture. And so that's why. So if we want to get our people engaged and interested in STEM, then we have to present it. We have to put it within, right? Or place it within our framework, our culture, our cultural lens. And so that's why, Baba. And another reason why I go hard for STEM so much is because if we're talking about nation building, and peace be upon the soul of Marcus Garvey, right? We're talking about nation building. Marcus Garvey said, he said this almost 100 years ago, called us a scientifically weaker race. He talked about how we need to be in the business of cultivating thinkers, problem solvers, and scientists. Shout out to Minister Farrakhan. He talked about the same thing. People got mad with him some years ago when he said, stop pushing entertainment and sports, on our children. We need more scientists. We need more mathematicians. We need more engineers. And people got mad with him when he said it. But a lot of our great thinkers, if you listen, they've been advocating for us to get involved in STEM for quite some time, Baba. And so if we're going to be serious about nation building, then we have to get serious about our involvement, our participation, our engagement in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Absolutely. If I had my sound effects like you do on your show, fire, all that, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And for me, and for the Uhuru Academy, it was an opportunity to reinforce ownership of what we learned. Right. Like when we talk about NIA, we talk about a regaining of a perspective. Right. And I think a lot of times we reinforce Black inferiority when we celebrate somebody, a Black person becoming an astronomer and say something like, it ain't that many Black astronomers. We don't do, you one of the first Black astronomers. Right. And we, when we get into first Negro syndrome, right, because we're beginning our history in slavery. And so we're like, you're one of the first Black astronomers, or you want to further. No, that's a regaining. You're recapturing expertise that we've already had. You're the originator of astronomy, the originator of bricklaying and engineering and science and biology. And so we have a story, we have a walk with those principles. And I just think that a youth that is passionate about science, they need to understand that passion might be genetically coded within them.
Absolutely.
You want to be a scientist because you looked at Bill Nye the Science Guy when you was little, but no, you were born a scientist.
Come on, that's right.
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 And so coming in with that, already having that interest, and then you reinforce it with a cultural connection to it. Now you're taking ownership. Now you're not praying for a seat at the table. You're understanding that you can build a table.
That's right. And that you can use STEM, like you said, not only build the table, but like you said, use STEM to solve our problems, Baba, to solve the problems in our families, our communities. I don't think our children make that connection, Baba, that you can actually use this. And see, this is what you and Brother Sean did. That was very powerful when you showed them how our ancestors used STEM to improve the world around them. I don't think our children, when they learn science and engineering and mathematical concepts, that they make that connection, that I can actually use these skills, these hard skills that I am acquiring to improve the life of my family and the life of my community. A lot of our children believe that when they learn these skills, I have to go work for Lockheed Martin when I graduate. I have to go get a job at Northrop Grumman. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with going to get a government contracting job, all right? Got to do what you got to do to support your family. But that's not the end all be all, right? And but that's what they think, with these skills, I can only go work here. No, there's a plethora of things that you can do. So what I loved about the UACI camp is that we showed the children that you can take these skills and do anything that you want to do with these skills. Like you said, build your own damn table, build your own house, build, solve the problems in your community with these hard skills that you're learning, shoot, I shout out to Baba. I'm thinking about Baba Imhotep, his son, Ujamu. He, not Ujamu, Inyame. I say Ujamu, Inyame. Inyame is building his own robots. He's making his own toys right now, building his own robots. He took a project that we had called the Wigglebot. And when I was on the telephone with his dad and mom a few days ago, he said, Dr. Ma'at, I'm making myself a robot now. And I took the Wigglebot and now I'm making it a hovering robot and I'm adding arms to it. And I added another motor and I'm sitting on the phone, Baba, like, I'm sitting on the phone with this 11-year-old. And I was like, wow. I said, Yami, well, you got to do a demo video for me. So you can make your own toys. You can make your own devices. We don't just have to simply be consumers of technologies, but we can be producers of technology. And that's what you were telling the children, Baba.
That's right. And the cool thing about our partnership as well is that we're building pipelines. Building pipelines. We want to put children on the engineering pipeline, on the software development pipeline, the AI robotics pipeline. And shout out to the CAP Center and the Equity and AI Centers at Morgan State University coming in and stepping up as sponsors of the camp this summer, and also saying, we want them to come to Morgan State one day. We scout, engineers scout just like coaches do, right? And our parents, y'all, we need to be looking. We need to do some little league engineering. All right. We need to do some little league software development, right? And start building pipelines. Just like you got 1 million parents out there trying to put your baby on the pipeline to the NBA.
Come on, you better say it, Baba.
Engineering, you are 100 times more likely to get through the engineering pipeline than the NBA pipeline.
Baba, that's a fact. And Baba, just to add to your point, Jalen was playing football, and they had honored him at the end of how they honor all the young men at the end of the season, for playing. And I remember when I walked through that door, right, Baba, when I say it was about 200 children and parents in the room, I said, daggone, if only we could get a turnout like this for our STEM programs.
Right.
You know what I mean, Baba? Like, I'm looking around and these parents are going crazy, and that's great. I mean, you got your child playing sports. I think sports is cool. It keeps the child in shape and you're learning teamwork and it could be very fun. I get all that. But I said, damn it, can we do both, Baba? Can we give them the sports and give them the STEM? I just don't like when it just seems like in our community, sports and entertainment, these things are overemphasized in our community as opposed to other things, like critical thinking and problem solving and the science and, producing technology, engineering, math, even agriculture, it's these, it's sports and entertainment and acting and rapping, those things, take precedence. The other things take a back seat. And I remember walking in that room saying, golly, I can only imagine if these parents, Baba, do you know what we could do if we had 200 parents sign their children up for the UACI STEM camp?
Oh, it's on.
Baba, you talking about a pipeline? Oh my Jesus. We would have
about solving our community's problems. And you're talking about fighting poverty. Right.
Yes.
Don't you know a bunch of stable engineering jobs is better than one out of 100,000 students getting an NBA contract?
Facts, Baba.
Or an NFL contract?
Facts,
right?
Baba.
And so we're ignoring opportunities that are there that we simply are not taking advantage of because we're not being offered that menu, and we're not demanding that menu, and we're not feeding that food, that encouragement to our children. And that's why I cherish our partnership.
Me too.
So much.
Likewise.
You know,
Likewise.
and again, to everybody out there, and I'm not going to keep you long, Dr. I love you though.
I love
And
you too,
I
Baba.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, Baba.
Everybody go to consciousingenuity.com, sign your children up. Even if ain't nothing coming up right now, sign them up now for what's going to be coming up later.
Tell her, Baba. That's right.
Bring Dr. Mayat to your school district. I think this past summer you ran about 9,000 STEM programs. I'm like, well, yeah. Well, we got a program over here at such and such elementary. Then I got to go to the middle school. Then I'm gonna be online. Got two engineers coming online with you. I got 5 of them over here at this school. You know, and I'm trying to get you some more work. You know, I'm trying.
Baba, yeah, this past summer was crazy, Baba.
Yeah,
I think it was like 6 or 7 camps going on. It was bananas.
Right.
May have been more than that. No, it was more than that. I think maybe 8 or 9 camps took place. Yeah, this going like we were between. Yeah, it was crazy, Baba. This past summer.
Bring in conscious ingenuity into your schools, right? To help our children discover their Nia. I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's a real tall black boy at your school right now. And everybody keep throwing him a basketball, and he wants a microchip.
Right.
Everybody throwing him a basketball, but in his heart of hearts, he want to go outside and he want to plant tomatoes. But everybody, because he's tall, you can make the NBA. He can also be a groundbreaking AI data specialist too.
Come on, Baba. Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So put the menu and allow our children to gravitate. You know, if the only thing I see on the menu is basketball, then that's what I'm gonna pick.
Exactly. We got to do better. We got to do better, Baba. And another thing I want to add, Baba, and I know you said, because me and you, man, you know, when that synergy come, Baba, you know, it's over. when that synergy hits, it's over.
Yes.
But Baba, when you said that, you just brought, you know, a thought popped in my brain. We got to do better. You know, toys are nice. I've never brought Jalen a toy, but toys are nice. That's what you want to buy your children. But like you said, instead of putting the basketball in their hand, put a book in their hand, a book. Put a STEM kit. When parents inbox me, what should I get? Some STEM kits for your babies?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like get some STEM kits and some books that'll help them improve their memory, their comprehension, their expand their knowledge base. Get stuff like that. We got to do better, Baba, than just like you said, here's the basketball, here's the soccer ball, here's the baseball. Come on now. Here's the Barbie doll, right? Here's the Barbie doll. Like we got to do better, Baba. You know, like I said, that stuff is nice. But you know what I realized when I got older? And I told my mother, I said, Ma, I appreciate, you know, what you and my father, you know, the childhood that you guys, you know, gave me, you know, waking up to my Kawasaki one-man jam. I'm telling my age, the Kawasaki. Remember the blue and the blue and green guitar. It was the Kawasaki, you know, guitar, and waking up with my strawberry shortcake kitchen set, you know, and stuff like that, and my bike and all of that stuff was nice.
Right.
But in this age, like at where I am now, it does nothing to sustain me. It did nothing to advance me, you know? And so we got to get into the habit of exposing our children to things and giving them things that are going to propel them, that's going to advance them, right? The you know, like I said, you want to get your child a toy, and that's your teacher's own, whatever teacher's own. But let's put a STEM kit in their hands as well. Let's put a damn book in your hands as well. And so we got to do better, you know, in terms of parenting. And Baba Emotep and I, we talk about that a lot. We gotta do better, you know, in that department, Baba.
I say, and creating opportunities for young parents to hear that.
Yes, absolutely.
To hear absolutely. That. And you know, kudos to you and kudos to Baba Imhotep up there and Be More, creating safe spaces where this message can get out, right? And family, it's on you as well, right? Like, share. You believe this message, then I expect you to share it. I expect you to tag it. I expect you to tag people in this video so many times that Facebook restricts your account for 24 hours.
Come on, Baba. Come on, Baba.
Right. That's the expectation, right? Because this is finding our Nia is a vocation. It's a job. It's an action, right? We're raising money We're not raising money to buy a new Cadillac. We're not raising money for that. We're raising money so we'll be able to provide scholarships for students who need it the most. So we can come out and say, here's the UACI camp, tuition free, completely sponsored. If your baby has a passion for STEM and a passion for our culture, sign them up. If your baby, you want to invest in your child's education with us, it's not just about investing tuition money. We want parents that's going to invest their time. We want parents that's going to invest their energy.
That's right.
Right. We want parents that's going to work with us. Shout out to Mama Alexis, our lower elementary school teacher, 3 daughters in the school, who, by the way, found out about Uhuru Academy through Dr. Oya Mayat.
Who is it? Who is it, Baba?
Mama Alexis. She was backstage, but
wow,
this week she's been out of whipping. They were living in Saudi Arabia due to Mr. Harris's job, and they are listeners of the Truth Talk, your podcast.
Okay,
and I think I came on one day, and they had just moved to Saudi Arabia, and they wanted to homeschool. But they weren't prepared to homeschool, like to be the teacher, And so look at the program. So you promoted the Uhuru Academy. They looked into it, contacted us, enrolled all 3 of their daughters last year while they were in Saudi Arabia, all year last year. Well, they moved back to Texas this year, and Mama Alexis came on as a teacher this year. So now all 3 daughters back. She's now our lower elementary school teacher. She has teaching experience. When I tell you she's great at what she does, she's great at what she does. And these are the relationships that we build. So now, of course, you have 3 students in the school. You're not paying their full tuition. You're a teacher now. We're borrowing, right? And we're able to create these types of relationships because the community undergirds us.
That's right.
By becoming monthly patrons, it allows us a flexibility to build an effective program without worrying about every red cent that comes in, right? And yes, so that's just another reason why we come on and we tell people, make this one of the things. Drop one. If you can drop one channel on Amazon and replace it with Uhuru Academy, which would it be? Right. I know in the new season of Book of Cain and Book 3 or whatever on Stars. So don't keep your stars, but ain't nothing on MGM Plus right now. Go on, drop that. Then you got a couple of them because you just wanted to see one movie. Screenplix. What the hell is that? Drop that one. All right. You can drop that, right? Some of them you double dipping. You got it on Amazon Prime and you got it as an individual app. I know y'all because I do it too. Okay, you don't need Disney Plus inside of Amazon and outside. Drop one, replace that with a Uhuru Academy patron account. Give me that $7.99. Put that $11.99 for that streaming service that you don't watch. Go on and throw that money over here and invest in our collective future.
Bob, I gotta do that though, because I see you got the Patreon joining. You right, $10 a month, $20 a month. What's that? Like what?
A lot of us are throwing that away. I looked up the other day and something came out. And I said, God, dog, I was supposed to cancel that. Then I went and I said, I done paid that for the last 6 months. I know I'm not alone. It was probably about $8.99. You know what I'm saying? But 6 times 9, come on. Right. And so that was a nice little piece of change that I donated to a company that doesn't invest in anything in my community.
Facts, Bob. That's facts.
Right. Go ahead and sign up for the Patreon and forget about that $8. Let the $8 that go to Uhuru Academy, let it come one day and you say, wait a minute, where does $8 coming out from? And then you're going to say, oh, that's Uhuru. Oh, that's Uhuru. I'm going to let that stay. That's good. I feel good about that $8. Right. And so family, it's just about shifting the priorities and understanding when it comes to NIA and a collective purpose. The Uhuru Academy was founded upon a collective vocation, a collective purpose. Dr. Ma'at, thank you for visiting us today.
Thank you so much, Bob. I mean, and enjoy the rest of your Kwanzaa. Keep doing what you're doing, Baba. I've been tuning in. So you ain't doing it. Look, you've been tuning in, Baba. We've been tuning in. And so, Baba, we appreciate all of the work that you and your divine compliment, Mama and Koyo, are doing for the community. So shout out to Mama and Koyo. Peace to your beautiful family. Send my love to them. Keep doing what you're doing, Baba. We appreciate you. We need you. We value you, and we love you, Baba. Keep on keeping on, Baba. Peace and love.
Peace. All right. Now, that being said, we talked about the UACI Summer STEM Camp. I'm just going to play a pre-video at the end of the camp. We had our parents giving testimonies and talking about their experience. Our students and parents talking about their experience in the UACI STEM Camp this summer. And here's some of the feedback.
For you and Dr. Mayat for providing this wonderful camp in the middle of summer. I was very, very excited that we were able to allow Cody to participate. I've been in IT for 20 years myself. I'm a network operations analyst. And so when I was listening to the coursework from Baba Chaz, I'm sorry. I was really, really thrilled. I mean, the level of engagement, the information, the context. I'm like, Cody, this is, this is stuff that I do in our department. So, and not me specifically, but folks on within the department. So I just really am pleased. I'm grateful that she's being exposed. I want to thank you, Baba Amin, for your engagement, your sense of humor. Cody was always quoting you, funny stuff that you said. I particularly like your ashe. It's extremely powerful. I love it. So I just want to give thanks. And, hopefully if the universe bends in our favor, we'll be able to participate again.
I say, what greater validation than that which comes from those who trust us and give us a chance. I want to thank Dr. Mayat for coming on today. Powerful sister. Y'all remember to check her out on YouTube whenever she goes live. You don't want to miss it. The dialogue on there is great. I've been blessed and honored to be on the program. She's been one of our community partners for years now, and our NIAs intertwine, and we work together as a result of that. What an example of Black unity. What an example of Ujima collective work and responsibility. An example of Kuji Chakwalia, self-determination. An example of Ujamaa, cooperative economics. You're talking two independent programs, right, that don't receive government funding, right, and two independent programs coming together, offering services to our community that feeds both programs, right? Cooperative economics, right? NIA, purpose, that common vocation to uplift and empower our community. All right. And this is your opportunity to be a part of that. You can scan the QR code at the upper right hand corner to make an instant donation. You can also become an Uhuru Academy patron at patreon.com/Uhuru Academy. All right. And membership does have its privileges. We're raising $100,000 in the year 2024. We are building the greatest online learning platform for Black people in the world. And we're also going to be launching the greatest land banking campaign in the history of Black education after that. So this is definitely a cause we want you all to be a part of. All right. So we appreciate y'all, but I'm not leaving yet. We always feature work from my children. We featured a presentation from Norley Newman, one of our students in Accra, Ghana. But we also have a student in Chicago named Sanique Israel, who prepared a presentation on the principle, today's principle, which is NIA, purpose. Y'all, listen to our children. Listen to the confidence in her voice. We want to expand this. We want to expand this feeling. We want to expand this opportunity. And yes, we are enrolling. Just go to uhuruacademy.com. It's time to pull them out. Pull them out of that system and put them into ours. We're not just building a school, we are building schools. Visit uhuruacademy.com, set up an appointment with me, and let's talk one-on-one about your child enrolling, your family enrolling in the Uhuru Academy. Dr. Maya mentioned buying toys, and some of us sometimes we'll buy them $600 shoes and $500 gaming systems, right? Invest in their education. One of the best gifts that you can give your child is an empowering education. Go to uhuruacademy.com. All right, y'all. Without any further ado, she took her time out to pre-record her presentation. All right. Uhuru Academy Hakima student, right? 16-year-old Sanique Israel. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bring this onto the screen, add this to the stage. And boom.
Hi. Hi, my name is Sanique Israel. Welcome to the Kwanzaa celebration of Uhuru Academy. I am the host of this presentation, Nia Purpose. As we look forward to today, I'm going to present on Nia and what Nia means to me. Now, my camera's going to be off for the next few minutes so we could get a better view of what Nia and Purpose is. But remember, I'm still here.
All right, I'm going to bring it forward. And I believe it gets started about right.
Sanique Israel. And this is my Nia presentation. Nia, which means purpose, written by Sanique Israel, help from Israel Asaya, Morocco, and students of the Uhuru Academy. Thank you all so much. Nia is a Kwanzaa principle of purpose. It's pronounced ni-ya, ni-ya, ya, 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 ni-ya. Nia is a Kwanzaa principle that means purpose. It refers to making it our collective aim to develop and build our community in order to restore people to their traditional greatness. What Nia means to me is that everybody has a purpose in life. And we all have purpose. Our purpose gets bigger when we use unity and come together. It restores people to their traditional greatness. Medical researcher and a businesswoman, the Kwanzaa principle of Nia, purpose, guides to me to fulfill my roles with a clear and meaningful objective. Sorry. I strive to contribute to advancements in healthcare driven by the purpose of improving lives through scientific innovation. In my business endeavors, Nia inspires me to create a positive impact, emphasizing the purpose behind my ventures. Whether it's developing medical solutions or managing a successful business that aligns with my values and contributes to the well-being of society. This is me. I'm a good science camp. I look good. Of course I do. What Kwanzaa means to me. Kwanzaa, a vibrant celebration of African heritage, has been a beacon of unity and inspiration. This joyous holiday, spanning 7 days, has transformed lives and forged connections among people of color. To be honest, it's better than Christmas. To be honest with you. But some of you don't know what Kwanzaa is. Picture this. Let's all close our eyes and picture this. Families gathering all across the globe. You hear laughter echoing. Who knows what they're talking about, but it sure is hilarious. And the aroma of traditional dishes filling the air. The smell of food. Ooh. Must be smelling good on those days. Kwanzaa is like a flavorful gumbo. Blends of cultural richness with a dash of humor. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's a feast for the senses and the soul. Through its principles of unity, self-determination, collective work, responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith, Kwanzaa has ignited a sense of pride and togetherness. It's not just a celebration, guys. It's a movement, a groove that brings people of color together in a harmonious dance of culture and community, like a moonwalk. So as you light the Kanara candles and savor the taste of homemade dishes, remember that Kwanzaa isn't just a holiday, people. It's a rhythm that beats in the hearts of those who celebrate, uniting them in a joyful, flavorful, and inspirational embrace.
I say.
My friend couldn't be here today, but he wanted me to present this for him, empowering about his journey to achieving his goals. Israel Asaya Morocco. His name is Israel Asaya Morocco from Tanzania. He firmly believes in a Swahili proverb, Penye Nia Hana Nejia, which translates to where there is purpose, there is a way. This philosophy has become the driving force behind his journey towards achieving his goals. With a clear sense of purpose, Nia, he has learned to navigate through challenges by channeling his efforts into dedicated study. This mindset has not only helped him overcome obstacles, but has also become the catalyst for his academic success and progress towards realizing his aspirations. Thank you. That's from Israel Asaya Morocco. Peace. In conclusion, let us embrace this transformative power of Nia, our guiding principle. As we navigate the intricate tapestry of life, may we purpose illuminate our path and infuse every endeavor with passion and meaning. Just a single flame can dispel the darkness. Let the flame of our Nia light the way to a future where our dreams are not just envisioned, but lived. With a purpose as our compass, let us embark on a journey of boundaries, possibilities, inspiring others to follow the radiant trail we blaze. Remember, in the pursuit of our dreams, Nia is not just a principle. It is the melody that orchestrates the symphony of our extraordinary lives. Thank you, and may your purpose shine brightly on the canvas of your destination. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Happy Kwanzaa.
Great job, Sanique. Great job, Sanique. That was wonderful. That was, man, wasn't that powerful, y'all? And peace to everyone in the chat. OG Gorilla in the chat, A Beautiful Mind in the chat, Saya, Sister Sia in the chat, Dr. Lamb in the chat, Mo Lamb in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Peace to everybody coming in. Great job, Sanique, y'all. Y'all, let Sanique know how you felt about that presentation. She wasn't able to be with us live today. She sent in a pre-recorded presentation. What enthusiasm. Great energy. She did a great job. Our students work very hard. They work very hard at what they do. And that's an example of it, right? That's an example of it. That's an example of what you are investing in when you enroll in the Uhuru Academy. That's an example of the energy, of the culture that's inside of our school. Yes, we're online, but it look like that baby losing anything socially. Does it look like it? And only online can you have help from somebody who lives in Tanzania to contribute to your presentation. We're creating global citizens, right? Her good friend Norley, who's currently in Accra, Ghana, in the chat saying, great job, Sanique. So Sanique gets to watch this and see her global community shape, right? Right. So this is an honor. It's an honor to be a part of this movement. It's an honor to be a part of this mission. It's an honor to embrace this Nia, this purpose. We're inviting you to be a part of this Nia as well. Go to patreon.com/Uhuru Academy, y'all, and put us on the automatic bill list. Take one of those channels off that you don't watch anymore and replace it with the Uhuru Academy. Get that bad habit that you're spending too much money on per month. Take that money, get rid of that bad habit, cut back on that bad habit, and give some of that towards us building this school. We're going to build out our online program. It's going to be the greatest. It's already the greatest online experience for Black children in the world. Now we want to create the greatest online platform for Black people in the world in uhuruacademy.org. And then, of course, we want to start putting more Uhuru Academies on the ground. We want more STEM camps. We need more teachers. So if you teach and you're interested in teaching with the Uhuru Academy, definitely get with us, and we want to be able to pay our teachers, y'all, right? We're looking to create relationships with Black-owned businesses. We are a licensed 501c3 nonprofit. Put us on your donation list, and maybe I should lead with that. When you set yourself up as a monthly patron, all of that money, you can write that off because we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So to give to the Uhuru Academy, I mean, it's a tax break, right? It's going to come right back to you. But not only is the IRS, what the IRS gives back to you is nothing compared to what these students are going to give back to all of us when they get out into the world. I appreciate everyone for hanging in there with me today. I appreciate Dr. Mayat for coming on and showing so much love. Right? Look at Morgan State. Congratulations to Morgan State. 8 Morgan State University faculty ranked among the world's top 2% of scientists. Shameless plug of Morgan State University. They co-sponsor our camps, and they also it's also where Dr. Mayat works. So if your baby's in the STEM and you ask me what school they should go to, I will always recommend Morgan State in Baltimore. Beautiful campus, HBCU. 8 of their faculty are ranked among the world's top 2% of scientists, and they look like us, y'all. This is the Uhuru Academy. This has been our Kwanzaa celebration of Nia, Abarigani. Know your purpose, know our purpose, support African-centered education, support the Uhuru Academy, like this video, share this video. This movement is growing and you have an opportunity to be a part of it. I love you and I don't mind telling you. Peace.